Hey, thanks for slithering in. I am Symtherin. Welcome back to my channel and to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today we are building in Del Sol Valley, which is kind of a funny story because I feel like, or I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure that I've never built in this world before. Crazy, right? Oh my god. I can't believe I actually never built here, but I kind of really wanted to, only because I know that some of the lots here, like this one that we are on now, which I don't remember what the name of the lot is, it's up in the corner, maybe you can see it, but they have alleys here, and I was just I kind of wanted to do a garage kind of thing and have like this cool backyard. So this build, I kind of built a little backwards. Usually and typically, I feel like most builders tend to build the front of the house first and get that looking all nice, and then the back of the house is not as pleasing. Some builders are really talented at making both look really good. It doesn't happen very often. So, but, and let's just say the front of the build probably doesn't look as good as the back of the build for this one in particular, but I don't recall what I'm calling this build yet, but it's definitely a family home on the larger side, and we'll talk about it a little more later, but the garage has a second floor where it's pretty much been turned into like an apartment you can rent. So I thought that was pretty fitting because we did pretty recently get the For Rent expansion pack. By recently, I mean that was probably the last pack besides some kits I think that we got. Yeah, it actually is. Speaking of packs, the Sims team released their sparkling new stuff pack, and that is the Crystal Creations stuff pack. I am super excited. I caught a lot of build buy items that really caught my eye that I cannot wait to get into the game and look at and start using. But you guys let me know what you are looking forward to for that new stuff pack. I think it's pretty cool, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it a lot in some future videos, so stay tuned for that. But here you'll see this funky pool that I end up fixing later. I was trying to do something cool with a cool shape, but I redid it. I don't remember if I did it on camera, you might see it, but here I'm just trying to get the shape of the build a little bit, and the garage is pretty much all set. I just add a couple of bump outs. But yeah, I had a lot of fun here. The backyard has a lot of activities. We have the pool, we have a little gardening area, we have some kids things like a swing set, and I think like a craft table is out there, and even one of the like portable cribs for a kid. Well, maybe not so much for a kid, but more so an infant. But here I was playing around with the idea of putting another garage in the front, but while I love the lots here because of the back alleys and that fun stuff, I forgot how annoying the front of the lots are, because at the edge of the lot there's like a huge gap between the edge of the lot and the sidewalk. Now, why would they do something like that? I posted it on X when I was working on this build, and a lot of you guys seem to feel the same way, which I am not surprised, because yikes, that is awful, and it really irks my skin, my nerves, when I can't blend in to the front of the lot very well. Some lots are easier than others to do, and this one was definitely a doozy. So here I'm trying to figure out how to make the front of this build look semi-decent. It was not an easy task to do because I was so in love with the back, like I was saying, and then the front I was kind of like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know why us builders tend to do that. Like, one side of the build looks great and the other one just kind of looks bleh. But anyway, here we are finishing up the backyard. You can see the little gardening spot here in the corner. There's the gazebo, which should be functional. I do end up putting like some seating in there. And the gazebo is a debug item. I forget from which pack, but it was raised up from the basement, and then you should very easily be able to have your Sims just kind of sit in there. I've seen that trick done by some other Simmers, so it's pretty cute, and it gives us some more options for decor and things, and I like that. But yeah, here's the swing set. Here's a little stone path heading to the gazebo. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. The landscaping I had a lot of fun with. I was trying to do a lot of different layers and make things look kind of more like, I don't know, have more height and dimension to them. So I really like how that turned out. The colors of this build definitely change a lot. You can see now I have like this red roof trim. I thought that would be cool, and some different siding, but that is all going to change, and I think I changed that off camera. But here's the seating space that I was talking about. So I do add a little platform, and we're gonna play around with this now. I really thought I kept this off camera, but I guess this proves that I actually did raise it from the basement, and you can see that much, and then you just remove the basement and you're all set. So this means you don't need the tool mod, although I did adjust with the tool mod. But if you wanted to do something like that in your builds, it's pretty easy with your typical move objects cheat. I actually think this is one of my favorite spaces in the backyard. It just looks so cozy, and just imagine some summer nights and sitting here with some friends and family and just enjoying the late night summer breeze and good company and conversations. Do I end up keeping a fire pit here? I might. I think I do. I think I keep that. So yeah, it definitely looks really cozy. And I think if I didn't put something like this here, I would have put a hot tub. But I did a hot tub in my heart-shaped build for Valentine's Day, so I think I was all hot tubbed out. I don't typically put hot tubs in builds, mostly because they don't look that good. I think we have one that looks semi-decent from the backyard stuff, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But here is the little side yard that basically the tenant who is renting the apartment, the garage apartment, uses. And my idea was that this tenant is not the cleanest. Maybe he's in college, or she or they, and they party a lot and have a lot of people over all the time, and that probably annoys the landlords because they're very family oriented. They have young children here, and it doesn't seem like it would be very very peaceful living here. So I thought that would be kind of a fun story to play if you guys choose to do that. Of course, you can always like maybe move a family in here, but then play as the sim renting this space and try and clean it up a little bit and make it look a little nicer. So that's always an option too. I even put like someone forgot their phone and keys on the pinball table. Is that a pinball table? No, it's not even pinball. You know, beer pong. Whatever the Sims call it though. But here we are going to actually decorate the apartment above the garage before we move into the main house. And like I said, I wanted it to look really filthy, which is definitely a lot of fun to do every once in a while. I don't do it too often, but every once in a while I do like to get a little dirty, if that makes sense. Plus, we have a lot more wall decor to make things look stained and molded and all that good stuff. Thanks to the format pack. So that was a ton of fun. We are starting here in the bedroom, where I definitely add a lot of clutter. I like putting this like little change and receipt thing above the bed, thinking maybe the sim goes to sleep, and was like, oops, I have all this change in my pocket. But here under the window, there's definitely a lot of stains and dirt, and My thinking was that the sim is trying to cover it up with all these posters so that if the landlords ever have to come in for any kind of repairs, they don't see it and they're trying to kind of hide the mess. I thought that was a little funny because I feel like some tenants might do that if they care a little bit. Or maybe the sim wants to make sure he doesn't get kicked out or they don't get kicked out. And yeah, I don't know. I definitely thought it was a lot of fun to kind of clutter this build up. So we have the bedroom here. And here we have like a little office slash gaming space, probably more so gaming space. I imagine that this sim is probably living in filth because they are too busy playing games on their free time when they could be cleaning or even doing homework. Maybe they, struggle with their grades and things, but I liked putting this little mini fridge here and a microwave so that the sim doesn't have to leave their computer to go to the kitchen and grab a snack or a drink. And it's clear they do not get up to throw anything out either because they pulled out a lot of these little items from, I believe, Eco Lifestyle that kind of make it look a little trashy in here as well. So I don't know, that was a lot of fun. I don't get to use these items very often and I really enjoyed playing with the storyline, like I said, especially the pizza box. And then this actually, even watching it back, I was like, ooh, I want some pizza. Maybe I'll get some tomorrow. I'm actually recording this pretty late at night, a little past my usual bedtime. I say that and it's literally only 9 p.m. Like, how lame am I? That's ridiculous. I guess I don't always go to sleep at 9 p.m., but I'm usually in bed either reading or scrolling on my phone kind of thing. But tonight it just worked out where I was like, oh, I'll do some voiceovers. I might even do another one after this one, although we'll see because this is a long one. So I hope you guys are cozy and you are having a good time so far. Now might be a good time to let you guys know that this build is up on the gallery. My gallery ID is Symtherin, the same as it is here and on all social media platforms. So that's fun. Speaking of that, if you are enjoying the build so far and you want to hang out a little more with us, definitely consider subscribing and liking this video. That really helps me out. I actually have a lot of fun and super cool builds planned for March. I haven't started on any of them yet. Oh, well, I started on one. Actually, that's a lie. I finished one and started on one, but I might restart the one I started on because I don't know if I like it yet. But March is my birthday month, and it just so happens that I am part of a bunch of collabs this month, or well, March month. So we are kind of celebrating that way. I'm hoping next year I can host something of my own for March, but don't quote me on that because I was hoping to do that this year and then life got pretty crazy and I was like, I don't have time to be hosting something. I'll just participate. So stay tuned. I do want to do a collab one day. I think that would be super fun and it'll be cool to kind of give back because I feel like everyone invites me to collabs and I'm like, I don't host anything, but I really should. Anyway, I'm always grateful to be asked and considered for any collab, so I love it. And people are so creative with the themes they come up with. It's so fun, just like the ones coming up in March, so I cannot wait to share and show those with you. But back to the build. We have the kitchen and kind of dining and living room already laid out. We probably go in and just clutter it up some more and add stains on the wall. And I didn't know what to do with this space right next to the door. So I thought it would be fun if there was like an extra bed in here in case the sim has a friend who needs to crash for a day, a week, or 6 months, depending on the story you played. Maybe it's Kyle Kyleson coming by and crashing. That would be pretty cool. So, or maybe a sim who's just a bad influence and that's why things are a mess and there's like a bubble blower and juice stand, juice keg here. So they definitely have some wild parties, I would imagine. And yeah, the family next door does not appreciate it because, like I said, they're a young family, and we'll talk a little bit more about them and what I was thinking as far as their personality. But the interior up here is almost a wrap, and then next we are going to do the furnishing for the actual garage downstairs itself, which is, most of it is pretty basic. I mean, the first part is pretty much just a car and some clutter, but I think we'll get there in like a little bit. We'll see. But we are just finishing cluttering up. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because then I'm going to run out of things to talk about, and I'm already repeating myself. This video is 45 minutes long, pretty much, with the tour and screenshots at the end. So buckle up. Feel free to skip to the tour if you prefer, if you don't want to listen to me ramble and you just want to see the full build. I totally understand it. That's what it's there for. So I totally get it. But hopefully, I don't know, hopefully this is helping you focus on something else. I know that's what I do when I'm watching speed builds. Sometimes I'm editing my own speed build. Sometimes I'm building. Sometimes I'm actually working and I need some background noise. So it's always very helpful. But this part of the garage is kind of like an activity space. So I don't believe that this spot is accessible to the sim who's renting above. This spot is more so storage for the family. There's some craft activities in here. There's gym workout activity stuff in here and stuff of that nature, things that you would find in a garage. There is laundry in here, although now that I say that, I cannot remember if I added hampers to the build. That's a good question. So if you do choose to download this build from the gallery, I would double check that unless you want clothes everywhere, because I know in my few very limited time in gameplay that can get really annoying really fast if you have laundry around, like either a washing bucket, clothes drying line, or the washer dryer machines. Then your sims, whenever they change, that means like going to bed, taking a shower, going into the pool, like literally anything, going to work, oh gosh, and then just piles of clothes everywhere. I mean, that's fun if that's what you want for your gameplay story, but in my opinion, I can get pretty annoyed at that pretty fast. Same with like the dust bunnies. Remember Busted Dust? Does anyone still play with that? I always forget to add vacuums in my builds because I actually like those items as clutter items, but I always forget about them at the same time. It's kind of sad. Same with like painting ceilings. I forget about that a lot, but I really wanted that feature. But then like at the end of the build, I'm like, wait, I didn't paint the ceilings. And then I'm usually doing that at the very end after I've pretty much finished the build, and I'm just doing it for screenshots at that point. Which is kind of funny. But some builds don't always need painted ceilings, so it is what it is. Well, we also have a couch in here, kind of worn down. I think that's from the werewolves pack, I believe. I'm surprised I didn't use the one from the basement Haven's kit. Actually, I know why I didn't use it, because I used it in the apartment above. That's exactly why, and I didn't feel like repeating items today. So yeah, over here we have a bookcase or storage shelf from Eagle Lifestyle. I think I get that little cabinet thing. I imagine there's maybe coats or something. Just any extra storage, which I think is very important for a garage to have. If at any point this voiceover feels choppy or it seems like I'm talking about one thing, then all of a sudden going to something else without any clear transition, it's because my cat is so excited that I'm awake and actually in here and working, because she just keeps trying to climb all over my desk. I even tried kicking her out of the room and closing the door, but then she was out there scratching and meowing as she does. She is such a needy girl. She's my old girl. She's like 14, going on 15. She's my little chunky cat. But she's here. She's purring. She says hi. Anyway, here we are in the second part of the garage where we're just cluttering it up. This necessarily doesn't have to be functional. I wasn't planning on it to be, except for the laundry, which should be accessible. I actually liked merging this shelf with those trophies and ribbons to kind of make it look like it's kind of combined and it's not like a separate shelf, if you know what I mean. The car here was a little too big, so I did size it down. So ignore that. There's also a floating poster tapestry thing here from the high school years pack. And that's because it is upstairs and it was sized down and lowered. So just ignore that. It's not there. I also thought it'd be fun to have this little table because I think you can throw that in your Sims inventory and take it with you. And if you're into that kind of gameplay and crafting and selling and doing that kind of stuff, then you have that possibility already in this build. But we are starting now on the main family's home. Here is the kitchen. It's not like a huge kitchen, but it's got plenty of space for cooking and hosting. This place has like just an island. There's a dining room literally next door. But my favorite part of this kitchen is like the coffee bar. Oh, I absolutely love it. Is it the coffee bar? Or actually, I may have put like that pizza oven there. We're going to find out together in just a little bit. Like I said, it has been a hot minute since I actually completed this build. So I feel like I'm just like reliving it with you guys right now, which is kind of cool. But we're just going to add a little bit of clutter. And I like this kitchen because we have these doors from the, I think, is that the Desert Lux kit doors? I think it is. And it just opens right out to the pool. And I kind of love that. Like, if that isn't goals, then I don't know what is. I really don't. Even though I think about it a lot. If I had a pool, that would kind of, it would be nice. It would be so cool. But the upkeep sounds like a lot of work. You either have to have enough money to afford like someone to come out and clean it all the time, or have enough time and energy to clean it all the time. And I would definitely have dogs who would swim in there, so that's just like triple the work too. So I don't know if it's goals anymore. Actually, that sounds like a lot of work. Anyway, it's not a coffee bar here. It is a pizza oven, which I think was super cool. I think I did think about doing coffee here, but I was like, I always do a coffee like nook usually like this if I have the space. So I did this, and I'm using these shutters from Horse Ranch to try and hide that stupid stair railing glitch. Because why can't we fix that? I'm tired. I want railings on my stairs, but I don't want them to peek through the wall. Like, oh, it's so annoying. It really is. But we are moving on to the living room here. And it's a pretty big living room. So it's split. Here we have the TV and the little sitting space with tons of bookcases because we love them. I actually cannot wait to get my hands on the new bookcase coming from or with the Crystal Creations pack. I posted that on Twitter or X as well. Like, I already know it's my favorite. It has a ladder attached to it. Come on. Like, how perfect is that? I feel like a lot of us are always putting our own ladders there's a debug one in Cats and Dogs that is perfect. So I just really can't wait for that. So I laid out this whole living and sitting area with the TV, and I was like, I have no idea what to do with the rest of the space. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I guess I could have put a bathroom, but I already had a bathroom on this floor, so I didn't want to do that. And I could have like closed it off for what I end up doing here is an office space and kind of play area for a young child or infant. I even also put a fireplace, which none of your furniture is facing towards, but it would still heat up the room. So I think it works anyway. Although it's pretty close to the play area, so make sure your infants and your kid sims aren't crawling into the fireplace, because that would not be good. I also started putting things down for a dog. Yeah, a dog. I don't think a cat would. Well, a cat could sleep on that bed, but you would probably have a dog. I can't remember if I keep it or if I put it somewhere else, but I believe I do put like dog toys somewhere and a water bowl. Well, your dogs don't even, or pets don't even need to drink water except for puddles on the ground, apparently. But two food bowls to make it look like it's a water bowl and a food bowl, if you know what I mean. So here is where the fireplace is. I thought about putting a fake one or just a radiator, but I think this one filled up the space nicely. So I imagined a sim here, like one of the parents can probably do their work while taking care of their infant, maybe while the infant is sleeping or taking a little nap, or even playing, kind of multitask, because sometimes we have to do that in life. Although I feel like it gets harder. I used to say that I was so good at multitasking when I was like, especially in high school in my teen years. I was like, yeah, I can multitask. I'm freaking awesome at multitasking. These days, oh, forget it. Like, multitask who? No, I need to focus on one thing. And I always get pulled away, especially at work. Like, I'll be working on a project or something, and then I support other managers. Like, I lead a group of managers, so I get calls all the time from them, and I help them with their issues or things that arise and stuff, and then I forget what I was working on in the first place, and I can't multitask. It's really hard. We get it done though. But here is the dining room. I thought this little bench area was super cute. Your Sims can probably sit there. I might add some pillows. I can't remember. But then I also had this weird space bump out here, and I decided to kind of do a custom bar kind of thing, because the bars in this game sometimes don't blend well, if that makes sense. So I took these two like accent tables from for rent. I've got these wine storage things from the horse ranch. That's the one where we got winemaking. And then there's the shelving here with all the like the different drinks, and then you can see I squeeze a bar in there, so you should be able to click on that and still make your drinks. I should actually go and play test that now that I'm thinking about it out loud. And then there's just like another bench. I thought this was super cool. Under the stairs is where you'll see the archway that leads into the kitchen. I thought that was kind of a cool idea, because I was like, at first I had the stairs closed off with their walls and everything, but I was like, wait, it would kind of suck to have to walk all the way around to get to the kitchen and dining room and vice versa. So I added an archway there. Here we are starting on the first bedroom. This is where I imagine the parents to be. There's not much personality in here, so I don't know what else to tell you about that. It's a pretty basic room. You have your bed, you have a rug, some lamps, bookcases. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all that is happening in here. So I don't know, maybe it's a Sims, an author, or a book talker, or I don't know, something. Business person, maybe. I don't know. But there's plenty of room here to kind of tweak it if you'd like to match your Sims personalities. Yeah, I feel like, at least in my experience playing the game now, which is funny because I don't have that much playing, at least not that much in The Sims 4. But once my Sims become parents, that's their only personality. And that's kind of it. They're just there to work, and then I just get focused on the kids' personalities. So I don't know. You tell me what you guys think. But here I did this little built-in, or tried to do this little built-in shelf thing with the cats and dogs bookcase and these dream home decorator cabinets. And oh, this little seating area was kind of cute. I hope I put a dresser in here actually. Oh, I switched it out for a dresser because I was like, I need a dresser. Okay, we're back on track. Yay. How many bathrooms are in here? Actually, well, clearly we have the one in the garage apartment. We have one on the ground floor, and then I believe there are 2 up here. So that's technically a total of 4, but 3 in the main house. The main house here has 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms actually. So if you don't need that many bedrooms, you can turn one into an office or activity room or rent it out to someone else. I mean, sky's the limit. It's your game, you live in it. Here is our first bedroom. I've been saying it a lot. My bedrooms are pretty much typically always pretty similar themed. This one is blue. But I think this sim is more into like the sciencey kind of things. So this is definitely a child sim of some sort of age, maybe close to teen, maybe preteen. I don't know. I do like how this or kid room came out. We got some stuffed animals. I end up putting that like science whiz table, which I don't think I've ever technically put in a build before. So that was fun, but it comes in this nice blue swatch, so it looks really cool. We get like a couch in here as well, and tons of room in this bedroom. But I actually really like how it came out. So despite it being pretty similar to like themes that, or color schemes anyway, that I typically do in a bedroom, the next bedroom we work on is going to be for a teen. And that one's a little more dark and moody. So it's a little bit, I think I've done that a few times in the past, but it's not always my go-to. Although it's one of my favorite kind of themes and color schemes to play with. Because I would have loved the cool, edgy bedroom as a teen. Oh, that would have been so cool. Instead, it was pretty traditional. I did share a bedroom with my sister, and we have 2 different personalities. And we didn't really have the funds to kind of really go all out with it, but we made it our own in our own little way. Actually, my my half of the room was literally just covered in Harry Potter posters. That was literally all it is. So that was super cool. I actually still have them somewhere in a box. Yeah, I have a thing with not throwing things away. It takes me some time. I've done it. I've gotten rid of some stuff, but certain things I'm like, I'm not ready to part with this yet. I might want it one day. I don't know. But here is what I imagine to be a teen room. So I guess you can kind of say that this home is like a generations home. So maybe I can call it that. I don't know. We'll see. I guess you'll find out. Or you'll know already at this point because we're like almost through the entire build. So, but we have a like black and red kind of theme going on here. I imagine this sim is into music because I do put a keyboard in here and lots of clutter and some mess. I even actually, okay, when I was doing this build, I realized that this bedroom window, if you angle it right, you can look right into the apartment above the garage and the kitchen. And I don't know why I thought like it'd be funny if this teen like befriends the sim who is renting out that space, because maybe they're pretty close in age. Maybe the sim is like college bound, like finishing up high school, and that sim is like not in high school but in college, and maybe like first or second year of college, and it could be like girl next door kind of idea or bad influence. So actually that would be a pretty fun storyline to also play with in this build. So I don't know. That was a thought that I had. I was like, oh, that would be fun. Anyway, here we are on the final room because I did not record any of the bathrooms when I was decorating them because I knew there was a lot and there was a lot to this build. This nursery is very butterfly themed. So while I leaned heavily into the pinks and the purples and the blues like I tend to do, I was really like butterflies. It actually stemmed from that butterfly painting, but then these butterfly wall decals, and I was like, oh, what if it goes around a mirror? And then I did it, and I was like, stop, that's cute. At least I think it is. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I really liked it. This nursery was very cute. It is very girly, but I love it. I really do. I had a lot of fun with this nursery. I actually struggled with it at first and I had to step away from the build, but then I came back to it and I was like, okay, now I got it. That happens to me a lot. So we do end up getting a dollhouse in here and we've got the changing table. Here I'm playing around with like some wallpaper to figure out exactly what I want it to be in here. We end up going with this pink, I believe. And I think we have a bookshelf in here and dresser and all that good stuff. So it should be rather easy for an infant child to start here and grow up and then, you know, upgrade the bedroom as you go, which I think would be super fun. I don't think I've ever, at least in The Sims 4, played too much of a Sims lifetime like that from infant to adult, except for one gen of the Not So Berry challenge. So I missed that challenge. I was doing that over on Twitch for a while there. It was super fun. One day I'll get back to it. Time is just not on my side currently, unfortunately. But we're not going to get into that because we are near the end of our video. We are just adding some more wall decals, some more decorations and clutter. These cute little lights. Oh, they're so adorable. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, if you want to see more or have any suggestions for future builds, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I would love to have you stick around to see all the cool stuff coming in March. So yay, thanks for watching, enjoy the video tour, and have an awesome day. Thanks, bye!